Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English podcast. My name is Mary, and I am so happy you are joining us today.
And hello from me. I'm Alex. It's wonderful to have you here. We are here to make learning English simple, fun, and interesting for you.
That is our goal. And today we have a topic that is important for everyone. We are going to talk about jobs.
Jobs. A great topic. Everyone thinks about jobs. When you are a child, people ask, "What do you want to be when you grow up?"
Exactly. And when you are an adult, people ask, what do you do? It's a big part of life. So let's start with a very simple question, Alex. What is a job?
That's the perfect place to start. A job is work that you do regularly to earn money.
Okay, so two important words there. Work and money. You do work and you get money for that work.
Right. The money you earn is often called a salary or wages. It helps you pay for your house, your food, and everything you need.
That makes sense. We can use different words too, right? Like profession or occupation. These are just other words for job.
Mm-hmm. And there are also two important words, employee and employer. Can you explain those, Mary?
Of course, an employee is the person who does the job, and the employer is the person or company that gives you the job and pays you.
So if you work at a coffee shop, you are the employee, and the coffee shop company is the employer.
Perfectly explained. Now let's talk about some different types of jobs. There are so many.
So many. Let's start with jobs that help people. What's a job that helps people, Mary?
A doctor. A doctor is a very important job. A doctor works in a hospital or a clinic.
Right. And what does a doctor do?
A doctor helps people who are sick or hurt. They help people feel better. Nurses also help doctors and take care of patients.
Great example. Another job that helps people is a teacher.
Yes, a teacher works in a school, and a teacher teaches students new things like English or math or science.
Very important jobs. Okay, what about jobs working with food?
Ooh, I like food. A person who cooks food in a restaurant is called a chef or a cook.
A chef, right. And the person who brings the food to your table is a waiter or a waitress.
That's right. Now let's think about jobs where you build things.
Okay, like a construction worker. They build houses, roads, and big buildings.
Yes, or a mechanic. A mechanic is a person who fixes cars when they are broken.
That's a very useful job. What about jobs in an office? Many people work in an office.
That's true. For example, a receptionist. A receptionist sits at the front desk and greets visitors.
Mm-hmm. And an accountant. An accountant works with money and numbers for a company.
And today, a very common job is a software developer. They write code on a computer to make websites and apps.
There are so many different jobs. We can't name them all, but those are some good examples.
They are. So we have doctors, teachers, chefs, mechanics, and software developers. All very different.
Let's talk about what a day at work looks like. This is called a daily routine.
Good idea. Most people have to travel to their job. This travel is called a commute.
Commute. So if you take a bus to work, that is your commute.
Exactly. Then you start work. Many office jobs start at 9 in the morning.
And people usually finish work around 5 in the evening. This is often called a 9 to 5 job.
Ah, yes, the famous 9 to 5. And in the middle of the day, usually around noon, people take a lunch break.
Right, a break to eat and relax a little. At work, you have different tasks to do. Tasks are the small pieces of work you must complete.
And you often work with other people. The people you work with are your colleagues.
Colleagues, that's a great word. Sometimes you also have meetings. A meeting is when you and your colleagues talk about your work together.
So a typical day might be commute to work, check emails, do some tasks, have a meeting, take a lunch break, do more tasks, and then commute home.
That sounds like a busy day. But of course, not all jobs are 9 to 5. A doctor might work at night. A baker might start work very early in the morning.
That's a very good point. The daily routine is different for every job.
Let's talk about some more useful vocabulary. We can have a full-time job or a part-time job. What's the difference, Mary?
A full-time job is usually about 40 hours every week. It's a standard work week. A part-time job is fewer hours, maybe 20 hours a week.
Okay, so full-time is more hours, part-time is less hours. Simple.
Right. And to do a job well, you need skills. A skill is an ability to do something well. For example, a chef needs cooking skills.
And a software developer needs computer skills.
Exactly. Some skills are useful for almost every job, like communication. Communication is talking and listening well with other people.
That's a very important skill. Another one is teamwork. Teamwork is working well with your colleagues in a group.
Yes, most jobs require teamwork.
Okay, Alex, let's talk about a very important and common question in English. If you meet someone new, they will probably ask you,
What do you do?
exactly, what do you do? This is a polite way to ask, what is your job?
So, how do we answer this question?
It's simple. You can say, I am a, and then your job title. For example, I am a teacher.
Or I am a doctor. You can also say I work as a, for example, I work as a mechanic.
Another way is to say where you work. I work in a school, or I work for a technology company.
Those are all great ways to answer. So, for our listeners, practice that. How would you answer the question, What do you do?
It's a very good sentence to know.
Well, Alex, we have covered a lot of information today. I think it's time for a quick summary.
I agree. So first we learned that a job is work you do for money.
Right. Then we talked about many different types of jobs, like doctors, teachers, chefs, and mechanics. We learned to ask, what does a doctor do and where do they work?
After that, we discussed a typical workday. We learned important words like commute, lunch break, tasks, and colleagues.
And finally, we learned how to answer the very common question, what do you do?
It's been a very useful discussion. Now, as always, we have a small challenge for our listeners this week.
Yes, your challenge is this. Learn the names of 5 jobs in English that we did not talk about today.
Ooh, good one. Maybe a pilot, an artist, a scientist. There are so many to choose from.
And for an extra challenge, try to write one sentence for each job. For example, a pilot flies airplanes.
That's a fantastic way to practice. Well, that is all the time we have for this episode. We really hope you found it helpful.
Thank you so much for listening to the English podcast. It is always a pleasure to help you on your English learning journey.
We'll be back next week with a new topic. Until then, take care, keep practicing, and have a wonderful week. Bye for now.
Goodbye, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English podcast. My name is Mary, and I am so happy you are joining us today.